Fuck this shit. My own version of The Dark Knight Returns. Everybody's got a goal in life. Brought to you by the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. I get some updates in. What do I have here poster wise? Both posters are done already, which kind of pains me in the ass. We'll put the posters up on an update. That's what we have to do. Yep. Poster update. We need to get some piss and vinegar going, boys. Some vinegar. A little bit of that vinegar shit. All right. 20 lineups, 20 captains. Top 6 cards in the deck: Pittman, Watson, Minshew, Walker, Taylor, Cooper. Michael Pittman Jr. brought in 9 of 14 targets for 109 yards, and the Colts lost to the Jaguars on Sunday. Pittman led the Colts passer catchers in major receiving categories with numbers that either tied or established new season highs. The dependable fourth-year pro now has recorded at least 8 catches in 4 of his first 6 games, and following Sunday's prolific output, it's clear he already has plenty of chemistry with Gardner Minshew. Pittman's next opportunity to build on this impressive start to this campaign comes in a tough home matchup versus the Browns. Week 7. Gardner Minshew's on the board. Deshaun Watson, listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Colts. Mary Kay Abbott of the Cleveland Plain Dealer relays via coach Kevin Stefanski that Watson took his normal amount of practice reps on Friday, with Stefanski noting that he thought the quarterback looked good in doing so. As for Watson's Week 7 availability, Stefanski added that he wants to see how Watson's shoulder responds to the work he got in Friday before a determination is made. But at this stage, the signal caller appears to be trending in the right direction ahead of Sunday's contest. So Watson's playing, huh? Gardner Minshew appears set to serve as the Colts' starting quarterback for the remainder of the campaign after Indianapolis announced Wednesday that Anthony Richardson is scheduled for season-ending surgery. Minshew had already been primed for at least a 4-game starting run after the Colts placed Richardson on injured reserve last week, but now the rookie signal caller is set to undergo surgery. Minshew will have a longer leash atop the depth chart. The Colts could still explore further options at quarterback, but even after a sloppy performance during Sunday's loss to the Jaguars, Minshew is likely the team's best option moving forward for the foreseeable future. The veteran struggled with turnovers versus Jacksonville, completing 33 of 55 passes for 329 yards with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, while also losing 1 fumble. On deck, Week 7 is a tough matchup against a Browns defense that put the clamps on Brock Purdy and the Niners offense. Week 6. Shit. Browns D. They didn't really mention Pittman, did they? They did not. P.J. Walker is in line to start Sunday against the Colts if quarterback Deshaun Watson isn't ready to play. Watson was a non-participant at Wednesday's practice, but Cleveland head coach Kevin Stefanski isn't yet willing to rule Watson out from outplaying this week. Walker filled in for Watson in last week's upset win over the Niners, though the Cleveland defense and kicker Dustin Hopkins did a lot of the heavy lifting for the Browns. Walker completed 18 of 34 pass attempts for 192 yards with 2 interceptions. Defense at Dustin Hopkins. Browns D. Hopkins on the fucking board. This is one of those games where the kicker could be the fucking captain. This is one of those fucking games. Jonathan Taylor rushed 8 times for 19 yards and brought in 5 of 6 targets for 46 yards in the Colts' loss to the Jaguars on Sunday. Taylor was stymied throughout the day on the ground, with his longest run going for only 5 yards. However, a 40-yard reception helped salvage the star running back's fantasy line to an extent, and his final receiving yardage total served as his highest since Week 8 of the 2021 season. Taylor did see an uptick in touches from a Week 5 season debut, in which he logged 7 overall. He notably recorded one more carry than backfield mate Zach Moss versus Jacksonville. Taylor's Week 7 matchup sees him draw a tough home matchup against the Browns. Zach Moss is on the board. Where am I? Oh, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper caught 4 of 8 targets for 108 yards in Sunday's win over the Niners. Most of Cooper's yardage came on a 58-yard catch in the second quarter, and he added a highlight reel grab along the sideline for 26 yards in the third. After being held for one catch with rookie Dorian Thompson-Robinson under center in Deshaun Watson's first absence, Cooper was much more effective with P.J. Walker at quarterback, accounting for more than half of Walker's 192 passing yards. Cooper's ceiling will continue to be capped as long as Watson is unavailable, but the starting quarterback could be back as soon as Week 7 against the Colts. Deshaun Watson is on the board. P.J. Walker is on the board. DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Fuck it, he's on the board. Down to the bottom of the deck until we get all the way back to Zach Moss. From now on, let's just not click unless we see a story. Something recent. From now on, that's when we click. That's it. Rodgers was targeted twice in the passing game, but had no receptions in Sunday's loss at Jacksonville. Rodgers played 20 of the offense's 78 snaps as he got more playing time with Alec Pierce suffering a shoulder injury. Rodgers had played just 5 snaps on offense this season before Sunday. If Pierce is to miss time, it may be Isaiah McKenzie who gets the larger role since he's been more productive as a pass catcher. But Rodgers, 2 receptions while playing just 4 snaps. But Rodgers was the player working more as the 3rd and 4th receiver Sunday. Snaps. That's one for McKenzie. What else did they mention besides McKenzie? Pierce. Alec Pierce is on the board. Isaiah McKenzie, a captain that once won me 10 G's, is on the board. Doolin Grant. Let's start moving a little faster. Let's learn to move a little faster. Racey McMath, cut from the practice squad. Originally joined the Colts practice team in order to Week 1, but after Week 6, the team has decided to part ways. He's now set to become a free agent and hasn't seen the field yet during the regular season. These gentlemen, there's nothing here. Here we go. Anthony Miller, cut from the practice squad Tuesday. Less than a week after signing Miller to the practice squad, the Colts have ultimately decided to cut ties with him. Former second-round pick hasn't played a regular season down since 2021. Jalen Darden. Jalen Darden reverted to the practice squad. Darden operated as the team's primary return specialist in Sunday's upset win over the Niners, compiling 42 return yards on 2 kick returns and 39 yards on 4 punts. If Cedric Tillman is unable to go in Week 7 versus the Colts, Darden could be elevated to the team's active roster again. Cedric Tillman is on the board. There's no reason to click, don't click. We're click happy. Cedric Tillman, full participant in practice Wednesday. Tillman sat out this past Sunday's upset win over San Francisco after being a late addition to the injury report. But in 2023, 3rd-round pick has seemingly put the hip issue behind him. Barring a setback, Tillman should suit up Sunday against the Colts. Marquise Goodwin caught 1 of 2 targets for 4 yards and had 1 carry for 20 yards in Sunday's win over the Niners. Goodwin had his most productive day of the season, but his role remains limited, and he's managed just 49 snaps through 5 games. However, he did get a season-high 20% of the offensive snaps Sunday, as rookie Cedric Tillman was inactive. That's 2 for Tillman. Atkins, Sermon, David Bell. Bell caught one of 3 targets for 6 yards in Sunday's win over San Francisco. There was less competition for snaps as Cedric Tillman was unavailable, but it didn't result in increased usage for Bell. He played 10 snaps, which is exactly his average through 5 games. If there's a positive takeaway, it's that Bell was targeted for the first time since week 2, and then his lone catch converted a 4th and 4 during a fourth quarter drive that led to one of 4 Dustin Hopkins field goals. That's 2 for Hopkins. Mm-mm-mm. Evan Hull is expected to miss the rest of the season. It's old fucking news. 10-13. No. We need Sunday. Let me fuck it, read the goddamn thing. Fuck it. Evan Hull is expected to miss the rest of the season. The rookie 5th-round pick suffered a knee injury in his first NFL game, Week 1 versus Jacksonville, and went on to injure reserve. This guy's on my fucking best balls. You suck. While the team previously noted that Hull was making progress in his recovery, Owen's report suggests the Northwestern product may have suffered a setback that will prevent him from playing again in 2023. The Colts need Hull has been lessened after Zach Moss returned from a broken forearm Week 2 and after Jonathan Taylor returned from ankle surgery Week 5. That's 2 for Moss, and Jonathan Taylor is on the board. Harrison Bryant, questionable for Sunday's game in Indianapolis. Bryant was active for Week 6 versus San Francisco, but he'll go into the new weekend with a questionable tag. If he can't play in Week 7, Jordan Akins will possibly see an uptick in snaps. Jordan Akins on the board. Mo Cox, cleared of his injury designation and be available Sunday. Now, available versus the Jags. That's old news. Will Mallory, healthy and active. Something old fucking garbage goddamn news. Why do I click that? See, I'm stupid. Nick Chubb, Jelani Woods, Goodson, Jackson. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. We need little squares. We need our squares. Isaiah McKenzie, 2 receptions for 23 yards on 2 targets and returned 2 punts for 13 yards in Sunday's loss at Jacksonville. McKenzie played just 4 snaps on offense as continues to primarily serve as a special teams player. However, he could see a larger role on offense if Alec Pierce misses time with a shoulder injury. That's 2 for Pierce. Drew Ogletree, 1 target but no receptions in Sunday's loss at Jacksonville. Ogletree played on just 27 of the offense's 75 snaps. He can get more work this week against Cleveland with Kylen Granson placed in the league concussion protocol. However, the Colts continue to divide the work in the passing game among multiple tight ends, giving them little fantasy value in most formats. Yeesh. Donovan Peoples-Jones did not catch his lone target and returned 1 punt for 5 yards in Sunday's loss to the Niners. Peoples-Jones continues to pile up snaps. He's played 86% of the available plays on offense, but his biggest contribution has come as a run blocker. He's caught 6 of 15 targets for 75 yards through 5 weeks. Additionally, he may have lost his return specialist role, as Jalen Darden was the Browns' primary punt and kick returner on Sunday. Darden. Jalen Darden is on the board. Nothing for Strong. Kylen Granson. Kylen Granson noted that is out for Sunday's game against the Browns. With Granson unavailable, Drew Ogletree, Will Mallory, and Mo Cox are slated to handle the Colts' Week 7 tight end duties. Granson will now target a potential return to action week October 29th against the Saints. So Ogletree Mallory, and Cox. This fucker's out. Alec Pierce. Limited at practice. Pierce didn't practice Wednesday, so the wideout's return to a limited session Thursday has him trending in the right direction ahead of Sunday's game against the Browns. That said, Pierce will need to practice fully Friday in order to head into the weekend without a Week 7 injury designation. David Njoku caught 3 of 4 targets for 24 yards in Sunday's win over the Niners. Njoku's yet to reach 50 yards in a game or score a touchdown this season. The veteran tight end's chances of accomplishing either of those feats would be bolstered if starting quarterback Deshaun Watson returns in Week 7 against the Colts, following a 2-game absence. Yeesh. Watson. 2 for Watson. Matt Gay made both of his 2 field goal attempts and both of his 2 extra point tries in Sunday's loss to Jacksonville. Gay had missed just 1 kick through 5 games going into Indianapolis contest at the Jaguars in Week 6 and continued to be a model of accuracy, including connecting on his 50-plus yard field goal in as many attempts in 2023. However, in Week 7, the Colts will host the Cleveland defense that has been one of the best in the league through 6 weeks, dampening expectations of Gay somewhat. Defense. Goddamn. Cleveland D. They're going to be dangerous. Dustin Hopkins converted 4 of 5 field goal attempts and his lone extra point kick in Sunday's win over San Francisco in Week 6. The Browns, operating without quarterback Deshaun Watson, were expected to be outplayed by the undefeated Niners team, but the defense and Hopkins' legs scored the upset victory. His 13 points were a season high and necessary on a day when the offense was led by former practice squad quarterback P.J. Walker. It wasn't an easy day to kick in Cleveland. San Francisco's Jake Moody missed 2 kicks, but Hopkins connected from 42, 46, 50, and 29 while missing left from 47. One wonders what might have led Cleveland stuck with inconsistent Cade York. Hopkins is 12 for 14 on field goal attempts and perfect on 5 extra point kicks. Defense and Watson, 4 for the D, 3 for Watson. Lance Harrelson. And now we get towards the top. DJ Elijah Moore caught 4 of 7 targets for 19 yards and rushed once for 8 yards in Sunday's win over San Francisco. It was expected to be a quiet day for the Browns wide receivers, with P.J. Walker under center in place of Deshaun Watson. And other than big numbers from Amari Cooper, that largely held true. Moore's 7 targets were behind Cooper and his 19 were fourth. Cleveland's coaches envisioned the former Jet as a multi-option weapon during training camp, but that's only showed itself in Moore's target and touch volume. He's second on the team with 36 targets and third at 29 touches, including 8 rushing attempts, but he has yet to score a touchdown and is averaging just 35.6 combined yards per contest. He's a multi-gadget option. Cooper and Watson. Amari Cooper is on the board. Deshaun Watson is 4. Browns D. Kellen Mond. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Anthony Richardson. Announced Wednesday that Richardson will require season-ending surgery to address a grade 3 AC joint sprain in his right shoulder. Richardson was placed on injured reserve October 11th after sustaining the injury to his throwing shoulder in the first half of the Colts' Week 5 win over the Titans. Colts owner Jim Irsay hinted Monday that Richardson would most likely be shut down for the season. And now that he's confirmed to be headed for surgery, the quarterback's rookie campaign will officially come to an end. With Richardson unavailable moving forward, Gardner Minshew will continue as the team's signal caller, backed up by Sam Ehlinger. Though the Colts anticipate Richardson making a full recovery from surgery in advance of the 2024 season, it's fair to wonder whether the team may look to scale back its rushing load to some degree moving forward in an attempt to preserve his health. That's 2 for Minshew. And Sam Ehlinger is on the board. Joshua Downs. 5 receptions for 21 yards, including a 2-yard touchdown, Sunday's loss to Jacksonville. While he didn't repeat the strong efficiency from Week 5, Downs had 8 targets and was second on the team in that category. With Alec Pierce leaving the game with a shoulder injury, Downs may have an even larger role Sunday against Cleveland. 3 for Pierce. Pierce play. Kareem Hunt is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Colts. Hunt had his practice reps capped throughout the week by a thigh injury. If he's able to play Sunday, he will likely continue to cede the majority of backfield touches to Jerome Ford, though Hunt made the most of his 37% snap share in last week's win over the Niners, racking up 71 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown on 15 touches. Jerome Ford, he's on the board. Jerome Ford rushed 17 times for 18.4 yards and caught both of his targets for 7 yards in Sunday's win over the Niners. Kareem Hunt ran for a 16-yard touchdown in the second quarter, among his season-high 12 carries, while Ford seemed headed for a third consecutive quiet game prior to coming alive in the fourth quarter. Ford ripped off runs of 13, 14, and 22 yards to set up a pair of Cleveland field goals, the latter of which being the game winner. This was a nice bounce-back performance from Ford after he had mustered just 44 yards on 19 carries over the previous 2 weeks. And for the potential return of starting quarterback Deshaun Watson in Week 7 against the Colts could lead to fewer stacked boxes and open up more running lanes for Ford. So Kareem Hunt is on the board. That's 5 for Watson. Zach Moss rushed 7 times for 21 yards and a touchdown and brought in 6 of 7 targets for 38 yards in the Colts' loss to the Jaguars on Sunday. Moss backfield mate Jonathan Taylor received an uptick in opportunities Sunday as expected following his Week 5 debut, but both backs ultimately recorded 13 touches apiece. While neither player was able to do much with the ground against the stingy Jaguars front, Moss ultimately had more productive fantasy day overall thanks largely to his 3-yard touchdown run midway through the fourth quarter. Moss' usage through Taylor's first 2 games is encouraging, but it's still likely the workload split eventually tilts much more towards the latter in the coming weeks. That's 2 for Taylor. Well. Well. You never can tell. Well, my Michelle. All right, so who do we like here? Pittman's a beast. Minshew's a. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor, mentioned. Cooper gets a like. Big time target. Ford definitely gets a like. Opening up the lanes. Downs. Browns get a fucking adore, man. They just kept fucking coming up. Elijah Moore, Dustin Hopkins gets a love. He came up a shit ton. Colts, Matt Gay, David Njoku, Alec Pierce. He's worth a captain, I would say. I'd give him a boost. Granson, Strong, Peoples Jones, Ogletree. Yellow. I have a thermal printer. It means it doesn't use ink. It just presses onto like a black bar that roll. It's just good for mailing labels. Yeah, Dymo. That's what that makes mine. They make all sorts of printers. DYMO, Teller. I like it. And they and their customer service actually answers the phone and walks you through problems. Yeah, it's called DYMO, Dymo. Yeah, tell the customer service actually answers and walks you through problems, which is which is which is pretty goddamn refreshing in this day and age. Gotcha, gotcha. Not much else is doing. Yeah, yeah. While I'm doing my little lineups for this week. Everything. Well, this is my new. I know, yeah, I know you're right. But everything. Unfortunately, what I've realized more is we're ahead on schedule in terms of the books coming. But the problem is when I put up if I put up too much stuff too early, I'm just kind of sitting in a lull for the rest of the month. So I realized I mean, right now we had a nice advance, but it's slow. What it's very dead till the end of the month. I mean, so right now I just spent a lot of money to order supplies. I had ordered new books. I had ordered the printing shit. So today was a spending day, not really a earning day. No, I'll come over tomorrow because I'll just babysit him. I'll come over tomorrow and I'll babysit him for a little while. We'll just cover the couch. I'm coming. All right. All right, ma. Like, fuck is Deshaun Watson? Why is Deshaun Watson not here? Exclusion. Get the fuck out of here. Get Deshaun Watson back in there. No, we got to put him in. So what, do you have to give him points? How do you get Deshaun Watson in here? My exclusions. 1 second here. Something's fucked up. Okay, all players. Why are there locked players? Locked players. My exclusions. How do we get him in? Oh, because they have no points for him, so he's not in. So how the fuck do we give him points? What would be his projected fucking points? We gotta give him points. And we're giving him points to give him 15. 15. There we go. Now we're all fixed. Yay. Okay, good. Do we want Minshew as a cat? I mean, I guess he has to be in consideration as a fucking quarterback. Pittman, Watson, Minshew, Taylor, Cooper, Moss. Moss is a captain. I guess he could score. Ford, Brown's definitely. Elijah Moore, Dustin Hopkins, Alec Pierce. No, that is a fucking captain. We got 10 captains here. Minshew's got to be in consideration if he has a good game. Took out Downs. So Pittman, Watson, Minshew, Taylor, Cooper, Moss, Ford, Browns D, Elijah Moore, Dustin Hopkins. I guess maybe you get Downs in there. Nah, fuck that shit. It's the Colts. They ain't doing shit. All right. Exposure minimum 5%. Exposure maximum. Let's do a balance 95%. All right, kids. Let's see what they come up with. 20 lineups. No force stacking. Do it. A lot of slaughter stacks here. Moore, Pittman, Walker, Cooper, Ford, Browns. And I thought we'd get more Hopkins. Let's see the captains here. That's it. Just one fucking Hopkins lineup as captain. Hopkins is in two fucking lineups. This guy was the whole fucking game last week, and you're only putting him in two goddamn lineups. I'm trying to trust these motherfuckers, man. Did I not give this fucking guy a boost? I'm trying to argue, but again, I'm not winning, so I'm trying to find new ways to win. And I'm fucking arguing with a goddamn computer. PJ fucking Walker? How many fucking lineups is PJ Walker in? Why is PJ Walker in 20 goddamn lineups? This is all fucked up because PJ Walker, so we gotta pull PJ Walker out. 1 second. Give me a fucking second here. Get out. Because they still have him in there as a top option. Watson. Why is Hopkins in only three fucking lineups? Okay, we got Browns captain of two lineups. Where is the Browns defense? Browns defense are at six lineups. Thank you for giving me that fucking much. Ward, Minshew, Taylor, Cooper, Browns, Moore. So the most captain would be Jerome Ford and Elijah Moore. Interesting. Browns D, Pittman gets two, and everybody else is one. Interesting. Let's scale down, babies. Ford, Minshew, Taylor, Moore, Watson, Minshew, Cooper, Ford, Browns. Ford, Watson, Minshew, Cooper, Moore, Joku. Moore, Pittman, Taylor, Cooper, Ford, Browns. Moore, Pittman, Minshew, Cooper, Ford, Hopkins. Hey, there's Hopkins. Minshew, Cooper, Ford. Ford, Pittman, Taylor, Cooper, Moore, and Joku. Surprised there's not more Kareem Hunt. Cooper's the most popular flex, of course. Then Ford, then Moore, Minshew, Pittman, of course, Taylor, Brown's D. I guess the injury to Mr. Doesn't seem like there's any Kareem Hunt. Wow. Matt Gay is the sixth card. Peoples Jones. Well, let's try another round, kids. It's the way we wash our ass, wash our ass, wash our ass. Let's do. I just erased a different game by accident. Oh, what did I just do? Yeah, I did the fucking Skins Giants game by accident. My apologies. Let's load these fucking lineups, baby. This is a week 8 best ball already? Fuck off. I'm not getting into best ball until after the week's over because you fucking everybody you pick will get injured. Another game in the books, ladies and gentlemen. May fate and fate decide your fortune if you should win. Blow your money right here on the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter.